Hey guys, Daniel here. The Nintendo Switch 2 is about to release. Really exciting, right? The next generation of Nintendo is here. So that also means that we will be getting a lot of brand new Nintendo games. In a previous video I predicted the character roster of Mario Kart World. And a lot of you really liked that video. Well, let's now do the same thing again, but for another franchise that a lot of you really love. You've seen the title of this video, so you know that I will be predicting the newcomers for the next Smash Bros. Game. And yes, I will only be predicting newcomers in this video, so not returning characters, because I don't want this video to become too long. Alright, let's begin. The first character that I'm predicting is Paper Mario. And before anyone is putting it in the comments, no, Paper Mario will not be a clone of Mario. Let me explain how Paper Mario can be a really interesting fighter in Smash. First, it will be really cool to see another flat character in the roster like Mr. Game & Watch. And for his moveset, he can use a lot of cool moves that regular Mario doesn't use, like his hammer, partners, stickers, you can name it. I think that Sakurai could do something really cool with Paper Mario. Okay, next, I have another Mario character that I'm predicting. And no, it's not Waluigi. It's Pauline from Mario Odyssey. And let me explain you why. I know a lot of you want Waluigi to be the next Mario character in Smash, but I think it's clear that Sakurai has no interest in Waluigi. When we look at all the playable Mario characters in Smash so far, we can see that they are all from mainline Mario games. What are the mainline games, you ask? Well, 2D platformers like Super Mario Bros., Super Mario World, Mario Wonder, and the 3D games like Mario 64 and Mario Galaxy. Even the Echo Fighter of Peach, Daisy, comes from a mainline Mario game, Super Mario Land. And that's why I'm predicting Pauline. I'm not sure how she will play, I guess she could use a microphone, but I'm sure that Sakurai can come up with something. The next character that I'm predicting is Dixie Kong from the Donkey Kong series. I'm a huge Dixie Kong fan, and I've been wanting her in a Smash game for a long time now. And it really seems like we are in a Donkey Kong renaissance right now. So I really think that Donkey Kong deserves a 4th rep in the game. And I think that Dixie Kong could have a really fun moveset to play with. She could use her ponytail for a lot of the moves and that would be really fun. She could also use her guitar. I really hope that this will happen. The next character that I'm predicting is Impa from the Legend of Zelda series. If any Nintendo franchise deserves more characters in Smash, then it's definitely Zelda. And when I thought of characters, Impa was the first character that came to mind. Impa makes clearly the most sense. She appears in almost every Zelda game and she's really iconic. And it would be really nice to see a Zelda character in a game that isn't a Triforce holder. The next character that I'm predicting is the Octaling from the Splatoon series. With how big Splatoon is these days, Splatoon definitely deserves a second character in the roster. And the Octaling makes the most sense to be that character. Admittedly, I'm not sure if they should be their own character or that they should be echoes of the Inkling. They could do the same thing as they did with Isabelle, make them really similar to the Inkling and give them some new moves. What do you think? Let me know. The next newcomer will be Tom Nook from Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is so big these days, it's one of Nintendo's biggest IPs, and they definitely deserve a 3rd rep in the game. And why not go for the money-loving raccoon himself, Tom Nook? And for his moveset, I guess he could use a bag of bells and slam people with it? I'm honestly not sure, but I'm sure that Sakurai will have some great ideas. And the next character is Swirlage from Pokemon. Of course, every game has a new Pokemon too, and the first Pokemon I thought of was Meowscarada, but I thought another starter Pokemon is pretty predictable, right? So that's why I came up with Swirlage. It's a really popular Pokemon from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And look at that design, it looks so sick. I would definitely want to fight as him. The next newcomer will be Alear from Fire Emblem Engage. Yes, another Fire Emblem character. At this point everybody is expecting it, right? Sakurai loves his Fire Emblem characters. But to be honest, I think that Alear could be a really interesting fighter. In Fire Emblem Engage, you engage with previous Fire Emblem characters like Marth, Ike, Roy, Corrin. So one thing Sakurai could do is remove a few of the Fire Emblem characters from the roster, but make them a part of Alear's moveset. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't you say? The next character will be an interesting one. The Wingfit trainee from Wingfit Adventure. Yes, this is a pretty funny choice, but I think it makes kind of sense. The game, Wingfit Adventure, did really well. And where did we see this before? Oh yeah, Wii Fit and the Wii Fit trainer. So that's why I'm definitely expecting this character to be in the next Smash. That would sure be an interesting moveset. And my next newcomer will be a Rhythm Heaven character. This is something I'm really hoping for. If you don't know, Rhythm Heaven is a really fun rhythm game franchise from Nintendo. And after 10 long years they finally announced a brand new one for next year. So a character from this franchise would make a lot of sense for the next Smash game. And a fun fact, Sakurai actually considered the Rhythm Heaven character for Smash Wii U and 3DS. So let's do it this time! We have a few first party characters left, and the next character will be Aumi from Famicom Detective Club. I'm pretty sure that a lot of you don't know this character. Like I said, Aumi is from the series Famicom Detective Club, a visual novel series that only released in Japan on the original Famicom back in the day. But a few years ago, the first two games finally came to the Nintendo Switch worldwide, and we even got a brand new game in the series last year. Aumi was also originally planned for Super Smash Bros. Melee. As a huge fan of this series now, I really hope that she makes it into the next game. Alright, the last first party character on my list will be Noah from Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I have to admit, I haven't played this game yet, so I don't know a lot about this character, but I know that he's a fan favorite and people love his game. One thing I can say, and that is that I'm a huge fan of the music of that game, and I would love to hear it in the next Smash game. I think that Noah is really likely for the next Smash. Those were all the Nintendo newcomers. Let's now go to third party. And this next character is a fan favorite. It's Shadow the Hedgehog from Sonic. Honestly, I'm shocked that we haven't seen any new Sonic characters over the last 3 games. Say what you will about modern Sonic games, but the franchise is really iconic. And Shadow makes a lot of sense. He's such a fan favorite and he is really relevant again thanks to Sonic X Shadow and the Sonic movie. I think he's really likely for the next game. Unless Sakurai really hates Sonic. Okay, the next newcomer is the character that I want to see the most myself. And that is Phoenix Wright from Ace Attorney. Yeah, as many of you know, I love the Ace Attorney franchise, and I've been wanting to see Phoenix Wright for the longest time now. He's a Capcom character, and Nintendo and Capcom are really close these days, and all his games released on Nintendo systems, so he makes so much sense. He also appeared in a fighting game before, in Marvel vs Capcom 3, so Sakurai can pull some of his moves from the game. Oh please Sakurai, put him in the next Smash! He will probably choose Chun-Li instead. And for the next character, if we have Phoenix Wright, we of course also need Professor Layton. I myself have never played the Professor Layton games, but I know that he's a fan favorite, so I can't really come up with a moveset for him. But once again, he's a really popular character and he even gets a new game soon. We also don't have any IPs from level 5 in the roster yet, so he would be the perfect choice. The next character is also a fan favorite and a really popular one. It's Weman! One of the only not Japanese characters on my roster, but he's a really iconic character. Ubisoft and Nintendo are really close these days, and Weman even crossed over with Mario before. They can also give him a really crazy moveset by where he uses his fists. I think he's pretty likely. Only a few more characters to go. The next character is Tubi from Nier Automata. Tubi is a really popular Square Enix character and I think she fits perfect for Smash. Her game also came to the Switch recently, and I would love to play as her in Smash. She could have such a cool moveset in where she uses her katana, and I would love to hear some Nier music in Smash Bros. Oh, that would be great. Time for the second to last character on my roster, and it will be Sans from Undertale. Sans will be the first playable character from an indie game, and I think he will be the perfect pick for a first indie. He's super iconic, he's really popular even in Japan, Sakurai loves Undertale, Toby Fox has a great connection with Nintendo, and Sans was even a Mii costume in Smash Ultimate. This makes so much sense. I will honestly be shocked if he isn't in the next Smash. Well, it's time for the final newcomer on my list. And the final newcomer will be the feline from Monster Hunter. I myself have zero history with the Monster Hunter franchise. But you cannot deny how big the Monster Hunter franchise is these days. And even a boss from that series, Revelos, appeared in the previous Smash. The reason that I went with the feline instead of the Monster Hunter themselves is simply because they're more iconic. Who doesn't want to fight as a cat? And these are all the newcomers that I'm predicting for the next Smash Brothers. I did a lot of thinking and research, and I think that this roster makes a lot of sense. And of course the list has some biases like Phoenix Wright, but I still think that this is a pretty realistic list. So what do you think of my predictions? Do they make a lot of sense or not at all? Let me know in the comments. And who are you predicting for the next Smash? The Nintendo Switch 2 is almost here, and that means that the next Smash will eventually come too. Have a nice day guys, bye!